Okay, so today we're going to look at one of the boxers from the past, a boxer who many people regard as the greatest middleweight of all time, or one of the greatest of all time. He's none other than the famous, marvelous Marvin Hagler. He was a southpaw boxer, and he had a professional record of 63 wins with only three losses and 2 draws. And that's an outstanding record, very good, impressive record. I don't think you can get such a record if you're a mug, Definitely Hagler is world class in my books, but that's just it, he's world class for me. When I was a youngster coming up and watching all these fighters, look, I was never a fan of Hagler. I don't know why, I was never a fan. You like certain boxers, certain styles. For me, he never did it for me, but I do respect him and his boxing career and his style, his effective style, but I wasn't a fan. And now that I'm older and I'm a bit more wised up and got more knowledge, I still feel the same way, And I'm going to show you why I feel that the way I feel. I'm going to break down his style and I'm going to break down his career for you in a bit. Okay, first of all, his style. If you look at Hagler, he was a southpaw, jab, jab, jab. Oftentimes, he would jump in with his jab, jump in with the right jab. And as he jumps in, as he's in close, he'll throw some combinations, which is nothing wrong with it. And then he'll change stances. He'll go from a southpaw to the orthodox position. And he'll keep on hitting, and the opponent will go away, and then again, he'll change back to the southpaw position. And you can see in a lot of his fights he did it, I don't know if Hagler was aware that he was doing it, or, if he did it on purposely, I don't know. But I can tell you this, that's not the correct way to box. You can't just jump in with a jab. You need to work, you need to step in with a jab, step in the dime, you can't just jump in. If you jump in against a good, clever boxer, you're going to walk into one of his punches, Also, when you change stances, you can change stance from southpaw to orthodox. There's nothing wrong with that. But the problem comes in when you're doing it in close range. I'm standing in front of my opponent, I'm changing stance. I've seen it happen before. Boxers go from there to there, or there to there, and as they change, the opponent lands a left hook or right hook or uppercut, whatever, and he catches him, and I've seen guys get knocked out. I promise you, I've seen guys get knocked out. So that's not the way, that's not the correct way, and that's not the way I was taught when I was a young boxer coming up. I had some good trainers in my time. I think Hagler, I don't think he had a great amateur pedigree. I might be wrong, but I think I saw somewhere he didn't have a long amateur career, and I can see why. So for me, he's not a scientific boxer. He wasn't a scientific boxer. He was more of a fighter, but a well-skilled fighter. Okay. Now let's look at his record. Now I have this debate many times with people, and they are all Marvin Hagler fans, and I respect that. As I said, I respect them and I respect Hagler, but I look at facts. I'm not biased. So if you look at Hagler's career, I say to them, who has Hagler fought? He's never beaten anybody, and that might come as a shock to you. But the biggest names on Hagler's record are Roberto Duran, Thomas Hearns, and Sugar Ray Leonard. Those are the 3 big names. And all those 3 guys are former welterweights who were in their prime welterweights. In fact, Roberto Duran was a prime lightweight. He's regarded as one of the greatest lightweights ever. And Sugar Ray Leonard and Thomas Hearns can be regarded as possibly the 2 greatest welterweights ever. They're fighting at middleweight. Okay, first of all, he beat Duran. Okay, then he went on to fight Thomas Hearns. Now, Thomas Hearns was a welterweight, as I said. He had a couple of fights at junior middle, but his first fight at middleweight was against Hagler. And then, if you're a former welterweight or even light middleweight, and you're fighting against a strong middleweight like Hagler. Hagler was strong, he was solid. You know, you're going to be in trouble. But funny enough, in that fight, it was a 2-round war. Hagler had a 2-round life and death war with Thomas Hearns for 2 rounds, and I can't work it out. You know, why didn't he make it easier? You know, why did he make such hard work of Thomas Hearns? Yes, Thomas Hearns was a legend, but, you know, he was a bit smaller. He's coming up from welterweight and light middle. You know? Okay, then we look at Sugar Ray Leonard. As I said, former welterweight great. Now, Sugar Ray Leonard was retired for about 3 years. Then he came back, and his first fight back was at middleweight against Marvin Hagler. So you lay off after 3 years, you come back, you're fighting Marvin Hagler, a middleweight, the world's best middleweight, you know. That's insane. You'd think he's going to get blown out, you know. He's going to get blasted out. But as it goes, Sugar Ray Leonard outboxed Marvin Hagler for, I think it was, I'm not sure if it was 15 or 12 rounds, so I don't have the records in front of me. But I think it was 12 rounds. Leonard outboxed him. All he did was box and move, box and move. Hagler could not pin him down. He couldn't work him out. You know, that's why I say Hagler, he was a great fighter. He was a very great fighter, you know, but he wasn't a scientific boxer, you know. He couldn't, you know. That's how I see it, guys. Many people don't agree with me, and I find that's fine. I respect that. But I want you to comment there, down there, and tell me what you say if you think I'm wrong. Because I say to people, who else has Hagler beat? Who has he beat? And they say he's beaten a guy like John Mugabe. Now many people, the man in the street doesn't know who John Mugabe is. He won't know. But I'm going to tell you who John Mugabe is, or who he was. He is a former boxer from Uganda. Good boxer. But at best, he was a junior middleweight. You know, he had 25 fights, 25 wins. Then he fought Hagler, got knocked out or stopped. And after that, he dropped back down to light middleweight, where he lost against guys like Terry Norris and all the other well-known junior middleweights. So that's John Mugabe, you know. He had 25 fights unbeaten, but, you know, at a different weight category. So who else has he beaten? Marvin Hagler. He's beaten Alan Minter. We know Alan Minter was a world champion. He beat Vito Antuofermo, the Italian. And Hagler also beat Antuofermo. You know, that's basically it, you know. When I look at someone like Triple G, he's got a similar style to Hagler. Come forward, aggressive. You know, he picks his punches. Hagler does the same, but the difference is Triple G is more of a boxer because due to his amateur pedigree, 345 amateur fights with only 4 losses. You know, that's an excellent record. So yeah, for me, Hagler, all respect to you, you're a warrior, you know, but you're not, for me, you're not the greatest middleweight of all time. For me, Triple G is a man, you know. So if you don't agree with me, comment below and let me know how you feel.